trains in Heartland.
Born in Milan, Italy, Margherita Gucci Vincenti attended Penn State University on a full-ride scholarship for fencing.
I came to the United States in 2010, and as a freshman, my first semester in, I won NCAA.
That prompted a trip to the White House to meet with former President Barack Obama, who encouraged Vincenti to become an American citizen.
I was then offered a green card. Here I am now fencing for Team USA, being a very, very proud American, and obviously Wisconsin.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
The event wraps up on July 7th and is free and open to the public. Sports, traffic, weather, and next Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News time is 7:05.
If you haven't called Siding Unlimited for new windows, what are you waiting for? This is Eric Brown, owner of Siding Unlimited, and I want to share with you a couple stories. Recently, Siding Unlimited installed new windows in a home, and the homeowner loved the experience. Linda W. said, I was extremely satisfied with the service that was provided by Siding Unlimited. I had a new roof and new windows installed in my house. Linda loved that she chose the right company for peace of mind. Loved her windows were warmer and her roof didn't leak. Also loved the colors. Larry, another Siding Unlimited customer, was thrilled with the experience. Larry's home looks brand new. Go to our Siding Unlimited Instagram page and see our pinned message to listen to Larry's testimonial, but also see his house. Again, Siding Unlimited, knocking it out of the park. Looking for new windows, siding, roofing, and doors? Visit the 5-time Pella Platinum Premier National Window Contractor of the Year winner at sidingunlimited.com. Definitely listen to Larry on Instagram at Siding Unlimited LLC.
We've saved our clients over $19 million in real estate commission. I say this because that's a pretty big number. But at Century 21 Benefit Realty, it's really not about being a top volume agency. Over here, it's more about you. And at 1.9% commission and no more than $19,000 commission, for the listing side of your sale, no matter what size property you're selling, you will save substantially. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. First off, our 1.9% commission structure helps get their foot in the door, and that's why agents like working here. But what they really like is having the strongest marketing tools available, with the resources to help them sell homes at the highest prices to satisfy their clients. Century 21 Benefit Realty offers what agents like most, and that's to help them be successful. If you really want to believe in the business model that you're representing, give me a call. I'm Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty. Call me, and let's talk about your future. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers won Friday night against the Colorado Rockies from home, winning 10-6. Game 2 of the 3-game series continues later this afternoon, with our coverage starting at 2 o'clock this afternoon with Brewers warm-up. Taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ time saver traffic. We have one incident out on the road at I-41-94 North, 0.5 miles beyond the ramp from County Road G. The right shoulder is blocked due to a disabled vehicle. Other than that, roads are looking pretty clear across southeast Wisconsin.
When you breathe well, you live better.
WTMJ
Find out more at
forecast is going to be
adventknows.com.
mostly sunny with a high of 78 degrees near the lake and 85 degrees inland. Sunday is looking to be partly cloudy, hot and humid with a chance of thunderstorms late in the day with a high of 91 degrees. Monday is going to be mostly cloudy and humid with a slight chance of showers with a high of 85 degrees. And Tuesday is going to be partly cloudy with a high of 83 degrees. Right now in Madison, it's 63 degrees. In Green Bay, it's 64 degrees. In Waukesha, it's 65 degrees. And right here in Milwaukee, it's 65 degrees. I'm Sean Brinda, Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 7:08.
This is The Fix-It Show on WTMJ. Advice and opinions expressed during the program are solely that of the hosts or guests and not WTMJ Radio or Good Karma Brands Milwaukee, LLC. When it comes to home repairs, we could all use a guy. Well, we've got the guy, and we've got the show. For all your home improvement questions, we've got answers. This is The Fix-It Show on WTMJ, presented by J&B Construction and Siding Unlimited. Now, here's your host, Dayton Kane and David Nason.
Not so fast. This is Libby Collins in for Dayton, and for David Nason is Jim Riedel, and we're going to get to him in just a second, but the Fix-It Show is sponsored by Siding Unlimited and J&B Construction. We got a busy show ahead of us today, and even some Summerfest ticket giveaways, so get ready for that. But first, let's say good morning to Jim. Hey, how's it going?
Good. How are you?
Good to see you today.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been hosting for David.
I was going to say, and you're here for the next 2 hours. We've got some great guests ahead. Next hour, we're going to have Scott Klein here from J&B Construction. But right now, let's introduce you to Matt Hefter. He is from CertaPro, serving all of Wisconsin. And Matt, first of all, thanks for joining us this morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I am doing so well, and it's a beautiful, beautiful Saturday morning around Wisconsin. I think everybody's out there enjoying it. Great day to get out there and do some exterior painting, isn't it?
It is, yeah. The temperature's hopefully going to be a little bit cooler. It's been a hot one lately.
You know, you mentioned that about temperature when you're doing outdoor painting. What's the ideal for that?
Well, ideal is that most of the paint manufacturers have moved to low temp technology, so when it's too cold, usually paint will dry on anything, let's call it surface temperature 35, I would say 40 degrees and up. During the summer months like this, temperature is one thing. You want to make sure that the paint dries slow enough. You've always heard the term watch paint dry. You want it to make sure it dries slow enough that it levels out. There are some things that we can add to the paint systems to, just basically slow down the drying time. So when it gets really hot, add in a little bit of Floetrol or something that is going to extend the dry time, helps the paint level off on the exterior. So if you know the tricks of the trades, it doesn't become so much of a problem. The humidity is the biggest thing. When it's really, really humid, you don't want to trap any moisture into the wood when you, especially on surfaces that like rough cedar and things like that are more susceptible to delamination and holding moisture. So that's the most important thing, is making sure it's not too humid out.
So is it ever too hot?
Well, in Wisconsin it can be. But, you go to southern states, Arizona, absolutely. In the state of Wisconsin, it does happen, but it doesn't happen too much. I mean, you start approaching high 90s, 100 degrees, it starts to become unsafe for the painters.
It's
we don't
more
want
miserable for the
ladders.
workers than it is for the paint, I suppose.
Yeah, because you can slow down the dry time of paint, like I said, by adding some Floetrol into the paint. But the more important thing is making sure that everyone stays hydrated and safe.
I had mentioned before that CertaPro Painters serves all of Wisconsin, and you've got a special going on this summer. We're going to share all of that information in just a couple minutes. We've got Matt Hefter here from CertaPro Painters, along with Jim Riedel. He, of course, is filling in for David Nason. I'm Libby Collinson for Dayton Kate. It's 7:12 right now. It is going to be a beautiful day. Good one for painting. Mostly sunny. High of 86 if you're inland. A little bit cooler near the lake, around 80 degrees. Currently 65 degrees at 7:13 on WTMJ.
Wisconsin's Midday News is back at the big gig. With all the music,
The Killers,
food,
give me that sampler platter,
sights and sounds
I'll see you on the Sky Glider.
that Summerfest has to offer.
Tune in each Thursday of the festival from noon to 3 to hear me, Greg Matzik,
And me, Jessica Ty.
broadcasting live from the Pella Windows and Doors mobile studio.
It's Wisconsin's Midday News, live from Summerfest.
And the Fix It Show live stream and podcast are brought to you by J&J Contractors. From roofing to windows, kitchen, bathrooms, and more, J&J Contractors proudly provide a full catalog of exceptional exterior and interior home improvement services, and they're all under one roof. Visit jjcontractorsllc.com or call them at 414-423-9200 for your free consultation. J&J Contractors, welcome home.
When you need commercial or residential plumbing service, you need it now. Call Quality. We have over a 60-year track record of taking care of people. And with over 60 vehicles ready to respond to your needs, we'll be there in a hurry, so you won't have to worry. This is Anthony Zaneski. For commercial or residential plumbing service, call Quality and get the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. At Quality, we offer the most respected brand names in heating and air conditioning. Armstrong and Carrier. It doesn't get any better. And our technicians are top-notch. I know, because I handpicked every one of them. They're vetted and thoroughly trained. Hey, they're the cream of the crop. And that's why our quality workmanship guarantee is the strongest in the business.
Call quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. Summer savings don't get any better than Colder's 4th of July weekend sale. From June 20th to July 7th, shop Colder's. Unbeatable deals store-wide and save thousands on your next home upgrade. At Colder's, they guarantee that you're getting the best deal in town, but during their 4th of July weekend sale, you can stack your discounts for even more savings. Save 60% on furniture and mattresses. Take an additional 10% off. Wow, that's a great deal. I've just shopped at Colder's. Great service, great showrooms. You're going to love it. Plus, you can save on appliances, too. Take an additional 5% off on top appliance deals you won't find anywhere else. Colder's has a huge selection of kitchen and laundry appliances from all your favorite brands, and you're guaranteed to get the best price only at Colder's. There are 4 Colder's locations: West Dallas, Oak Creek, Delafield, and Grafton. Hurry on in or shop online at Colders.com. Don't miss out on their 4th of July weekend sale going on from June 20th to July 7th.
Get more for your money at Colders.
A lot of law firms claim to be experts at handling injury cases that involve large trucks. But handling one trucking case does not make you an expert on the subject. Experience matters in these cases. One local firm has handled 25 trucking cases which resulted in payments over $1 million each, and hundreds of others as well. Because Wisconsinites know who to call when it's a must-win scenario. They call Habish, Habish & Rotier. National reputation, hometown service.
From a leaky pipe to finishing your basement, The Fix-It Show on 620 WTMJ.
Well, Dayton and David are both off today, so Jim Riedel's joining us. I'm Libby Collins, and we're here with Matt Hefter from CertaPro Painters, serving all of Wisconsin. And Matt, you know, I alluded to this a few minutes ago, and that is that CertaPro Painters is having a big summer sale right now.
Yes. Until July 31st, we are offering 10% off all of our services. Just trying to help our customers out and also make sure that we keep the painters busy for the rest of the year. And so we're offering that till July 31st. So anybody who currently has a proposal can have 10% off. And if you don't have a proposal yet, get your proposal in prior to July 31st. So you can save yourself an additional 10%.
And what do you have to do to get that estimate?
All you have to do is we make it as simple as possible. If you literally go online right now to our website, you can schedule an appointment for any of the time blocks that are available. You can also just call our 1-800-GO-CERTA, 1-800-GO-CERTA with a C, and give us a call, and we can schedule your estimate right now.
All right, and if you've got some calls right now or some questions for Matt, and of course Jim Riedel's here with us as well, we've got a line open on our Siding Unlimited talk and text line at 855-616-1620. Matt, I have to tell you something. CertaPro Painters changed my life.
And how did we do that?
by making my life so much easier with a garage floor that now I'm proud of when the garage doors open.
Yeah, the garage floor systems that we install, we've been doing that for, coming up on probably 10 years now. And very, very cool. So you take your dingy garage, maybe you have pitted concrete from the salts, and we install a polyaspartic system and do a broadcast rejection. It looks beautiful. It makes your pitted floor with the oil and grease stains all go away. Becomes an extension of your home. For anybody tinkering in their garage today, it seals your floor. You spill anything, it wipes right up. They look great. I've had a garage floor system in our home in literally our past 3 homes, and I can't imagine. It's the first thing I usually install when we move into a new house is the garage floor system.
Sounds like a guy thing.
No, my wife likes it just as much.
Yeah.
It literally a garage, and she uses it kind of as an extension at home. We have parties. She opens up the garage doors. It's like having a very large living room that people can spill out into, and kids can drop soft drinks, and it doesn't matter. You just wipe it right up.
Well, it's interesting that you bring that up because I was the one who told my husband we had to have it. And it was because it really keeps your house cleaner. I mean, we have an attached garage, and that was one thing that always bugged me is you just track more dirt in when you've got a dirty garage floor. Whereas when you have this system in, your house stays cleaner.
It does, because you're not tracking the dirt from the garage into the house. And the one thing that I didn't realize when we installed our first one is you actually go out in the garage once every couple months and you mop it and clean it. And it's like, who does that? But, once you have this flooring system, you want to make sure it stays good, it looks clean, and you definitely you take your shoes off right at the door before you walk in the house, so everything just stays in the garage. But yeah, it's beautiful. We even have a ping pong table in our garage.
Are you kidding?
We're one of those people that we don't actually park our vehicles in our garage anymore. It's just literally it's mostly entertainment. We have a dartboard, we have a ping pong table. It is literally an extension of our home.
Well, I don't know. I just have cabinets and cars in my garage. But we did. I'll tell you this. Matt. Is it makes you a little more proud? And I actually put artwork in the garage after we had the floor done.
Nothing wrong with that.
We got pictures up too. Yeah. I don't know. I wouldn't call our pictures artwork, but we do have some funny pictures that are up on the walls.
Well, ours are related to cars, but it does. It just makes you. It like you said, it's an extension of your home. Now, is that if you do a garage floor system? Is that included in the sale right now?
Yep, all of our services, 10% off.
Okay, and how do you get more information about getting an estimate?
Again, anyone can go online right now, 24/7, and schedule their appointment for the time that works for them, the day and time. You can also call 1-800-GO-SERVA. 1-800-GO-SERVA. It will go right to our phones, and we'll pick up the phone and schedule your appointment right there. Even if you have questions, you can just call in with your questions.
Matt Hefter from CertaPro Painters is here. Jim Riedel in for David Nason. I'm Libby Collins in for Dayton Kane. And we've got some questions coming in on the Siding Unlimited WTMJ Talk and Text line. We're going to get to those right after this on the Fix-It Show on WTMJ. It's going to be a beautiful day today. We're going to get into the 80s if you're inland, about 78 degrees if you're out there at Summerfest. And right now it's 65 degrees at 7:22.
Welcome back to Ask Hasslis. I'm Weston. What's your question?
How do you get pee out of an old mattress?
Well,
I'm asking for a friend.
The best way to remove urine from a mattress is to trade in that old mattress for a new Beautyrest or Sealy Posturepedic.
But that'll cost a lot of money.
Not at Hasslis Mattress. Through Monday, trade in your old mattress and get additional savings of $248 off a queen and $348 off a king. And that's on top of our everyday low prices.
Come on, everybody says lowest prices.
Others sell a Sealy Posturepedic Queen Emeryville A mattress for $12.68. Hasslis sells it for $10.34. But through Monday, it's just $7.86. And check out the low prices on Beautyrest and more. Plus, free next day delivery.
What does my friend do with his old soaked mattress?
We haul it away for pee.
What was that?
Sorry, I meant for free.
Sure you did.
Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hasslis.com.
It's there all day, and it never goes away. I hate pain. It robs us of so much. But if you take action today, your pain could be gone tomorrow. Because at Rejuvenex, we harness the power of Toradol and hyaluronic acid to calm the inflammation and cushion joints. Rejuvenex treatments are safe, they're FDA approved, and in most cases, insurance, including Medicare and Medicaid, pays for them. At as low as $65 per injection per joint, our treatments are affordable. It's not a gimmick. It's pharmacological medicine administered in office in a simple and convenient manner. And with it, our patients have been able to avoid risky surgery and begin to stop the onset of arthritis. I'm Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas, and here we've made pain treatment as easy and affordable as it can be. Go to rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala, nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ishnala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ishnala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ishnala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ishnala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ishnala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
Now back to the Fix-It Show on 620 WTMJ.
Jim Riedel's in for David Nason. We've got Matt Hector here from Soda Pro Painters. And we've got a caller. We've got Jim Bob in New Berlin, and you've got a question about painting your house. Jim Bob, how can we help you?
Hey, how's it going? So I got a 1955 house, and it's got a brick house. We've been contemplating painting it, but we're skeptical and afraid of what the next steps, and do we have to paint every year, and how that works, and how do you first prep the house to be painted?
Preparation on the brick. What kind of brick is it? Do you know? Is it like a Chicago brick, or what color is it, the brick?
It's like a pinkish, reddish, and it's not Chicago style.
Okay.
I'm not sure what I did.
So the first thing you want to do is you want to make sure you pressure wash it and clean all the surfaces really well. Let that dry out. Give that, a good couple days to dry out. At warmer temperatures like this, it'll dry quick. And then you want to use minimally a masonry primer, or you want to use a masonry paint system like Sherwin-Williams has Loxon XP. There's different systems. And what you're going to find is the primer system is going to soak like a sponge. So you're not going to get very far with it, but it's going to soak into the brick, and you really want to make sure that you roll with probably a little thicker nap roller, maybe a 3/4 inch or possibly even a 1-inch roller, to really work it into all the brick. That's the most important thing, is that primer coat, that you seal the brick. If you don't do that, you're going to have pinholes, and those are going to come through, and those can create failure points. So work the primer system really, really well into the brick. Put 2 top coats of, a paint made for masonry over the top of it. Again, rolling it deeply into the brick. As far as maintenance goes on it, once you paint your brick, you should be good 7-10 years. If you go with a real dark color, it might fade out, a little bit quicker than that. But you shouldn't have any peeling. The only time you will see peeling or anything like that is typically going to be real low to the ground where the snow and snow and ice set up against the house. That can sometimes cause some peeling where you might have to do a little bit of a touch up. But brick, we paint brick all the time. If you feel like the project's too much for you, give CertaPro a call. We can come out and give you a free estimate, so that you can at least balance it against your time and what you got available.
Hope that helps, Jim Bob.
Right, I really appreciate your time.
Thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thanks for your call, and that means that's a line open for you on our Siding Unlimited talk and text line at 855-616-1620. We've got some texts coming in. Jim, you want to ask Matt about that?
Yes. Texter says, how does humidity affect the way paint settles and dries? And I was thinking there's so many different types of paint in different areas, like inside, outside, and since it's summer, maybe Matt could just answer as it relates to doing outside work and the typical paint that someone that does their own work might encounter as far as what type of paint. Is it acrylic, latex? What might they use? So that'd probably be the best answer for them. So what do you think, Matt?
Yeah, well, the question is typically focused on the outside. A lot of people have air conditioning, so you can turn on the air conditioner. You take the humidity out of your house pretty quickly during these times. But on the outside of the house, you can't air condition the outside of the house. So you really have to make sure, first of all, you should give it some extra dry time between. With hot weather like this where it's humid, there still might be moisture in the paint system, but it'll film over and start to dry, so it'll feel dry to the touch, but there's still moisture in that mill thickness. So you want to give it a little extra time to dry between coats. So if you do color change in your home, you're going to do 2 coats. Put the first one on, let it dry and cure overnight. Then start your next coat the next day. as far as the humidity, you also want to make sure, like we mentioned with the previous caller, is that if you're going to pressure wash and you have a porous surface like a brick or a lot of exposed wood from peeling paint, let the wood dry out, because that humidity in the air, once you pressure wash it, that moisture is going to stay in there a little bit longer with the humidity that we have in the air. So just giving it more time between coats, more time between pressure wash and cleaning to when you start your priming or your painting. Those are the things that you really want to focus on.
All right, we've got Mac Hefter here. He is with Certipro Painters, and we've got a lot more calls and questions coming in on the Siding Unlimited talk and text line. If you want to be one of them, 855-616-1620. And guess what? We're still going to give away some Summerfest tickets this morning, so stick around for your opportunity to join us for that one. Right now, though, it is 7:30, and from the WTMJ Breaking News Center, here's Sean Brenda.
Thanks, Libby. The Wisconsin Supreme Court rules UW Health is not legally required to recognize its nurses union or engage in collective bargaining. The ruling was unanimous. The decision upholds prior rulings and affirms that Act 10, which limited collective bargaining for public employees, applies to UW Health. Nurses had argued the hospital could still choose to bargain, especially after pandemic-era staffing issues. And a federal judge rules the Trump administration cannot withhold funding for electric vehicle infrastructure. The $5 billion approved in the 2021 bipartisan infrastructure law will help states install EV charging stations along major corridors. Grant recipients in Wisconsin include gas stations, restaurants, and hotels. And Ukrainian authorities say 2 people were killed and some 17 people injured after Russian drones attacked southern Ukraine port city of Odessa. A drone hit a residential tower block in the city, causing damage to 3 floors and trapping residents. Emergency services said the 2 killed in the attack were a married couple and 3 children were among the injured. Odessa's regional governor reported. According to Russia's defense ministry, over 40 Ukrainian drones were shot down over western Russia and occupied Crimea. All right, taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic. We have one incident out on the road at I-41 94 North, half mile beyond the ramp from County Road G. The right shoulder is blocked due to a disabled vehicle. Or that roads are looking pretty clear across southeast Wisconsin.
Traffic is sponsored by the Amazing Mineshaft Restaurant in downtown Hartford.
Enjoy the new all-you-can-eat Saturday breakfast buffet from 8 a.m. till noon for under $10 at the Mineshaft Restaurant in downtown Hartford. Just walk on in. It's big food, it's big fun, it's the Mineshaft.
All right, time for your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today's going to be mostly sunny with a high of 78 degrees near the lake and 86 degrees inland. Tonight, mainly clear with a low of 67 degrees. Sunday will be partly cloudy, hot and humid with a chance of thunderstorms late in the day with a high of 91 degrees. Monday's going to be mostly cloudy and humid with a slight chance of showers and storms with a high of 83 degrees. Tuesday will be mostly sunny with a high of 84 degrees. And Wednesday will be mostly sunny with a high of 85 degrees. Right now in Green Bay, it's 64 degrees. In Waukesha, it's 65 degrees. And right here in Milwaukee, it's 65 degrees. I'm Sean Brenda, Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 7:32.
This change has leveled us up while being able to maintain the same quality of service that we've always provided, with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission. We're proud to be part of the Century 21 family, so you can move fearlessly with the added confidence of top-of-the-line marketing for maximum home exposure. And that means more eyeballs and the real potential for the highest price for your home. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. First off, our 1.9% commission structure helps get their foot in the door, and that's why agents like working here. But what they really like is having the strongest marketing tools available, with the resources to help them sell homes at the highest prices to satisfy their clients. Century 21 Benefit Realty offers what agents like most, and that's to help them be successful. If you really want to believe in the business model that you're representing, give me a call. I'm Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty. Call me, and let's talk about your future. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Hey, freshly retired WTMJ morning show host Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. That's Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. We've talked over the years about the hometown difference. What's that all about? Well, it's about their huge new Berlin showroom featuring name brands like Pella, Marvin, and more, all on display. It's almost like a private home show, giving you the opportunity to compare your options side by side. And when you work with Hometown, you also also get a dedicated project consultant to guide you to the products that best fit your home, your style, and your budget, as well as Hometown's own employee carpenters to handle the job. Now's a great time to lock in your price and take advantage of the savings by investing in your home's equity today. Take the hassle out of your next window or door upgrade. Contact Hometown today. Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. 414-329-1200 or online at hometownwindows.com.
This is the Fix-It Show on 620 WTMJ.
And welcome back. We've got, let's see. Well, I'm in for Dayton Kane. I'm Libby Collins. We've got Jim Riedel here.
That's me.
For David Nason. And we've got Matt Hefter here from Certa Pro Painters. Matt, we've got a lot of people calling in and getting through on our Siding Unlimited talk and text line. And Jim, let's start with one of those questions on the text line.
Yeah, there's two of them that are actually pretty similar. I was kind of surprised they came in this way. Talking about garage floor coating, they want to know, basically, I'll sum it up, that they want to know if they can use it outside on a patio. And in both cases, both people mentioned like stamped concrete. And I know that stamped concrete has got texture to it and it's got sealers on it. So I'm sure it's a little bit different than a garage floor. So, but that's their question. Can they use the similar product? And then also the difference between like they kind of spelled it wrong, but polyaspartic versus polyurea. So someone actually probably did some research on that a little bit to know those terms. So what do you got for us, Matt?
So on the stamped concrete, not so much, because one of the most important things that you have to etch or grind the surface. You can chemically etch. I don't stand behind that. It's not something that we would entertain ourselves. There might be others that are willing to do that, but on the exterior,
when you say grind, obviously in a garage floor it's relatively flat, so you use machines with special grinders that take the surface, the top layer surface off to get the really good clean concrete underneath it, and that's really hard to do with the texture on the.
Yeah, exactly. So we're taking off just a 1/16 of an inch or so of the concrete. It opens up the pores, cleans the surface. It's with diamonds, and you're just 18-inch grinders or 30-inch grinders. You're grinding across the surface to make sure that you're opening up the pores so you have a good bond. The second question around polyurea or polyaspartic. So we install both. We install polyurea systems. We install polyaspartic systems. I wouldn't recommend a polyurea system necessarily on the outside of the house, just because if any of that base coat of polyurea is exposed to the sunlight, it's not UV stable, so it'll start to yellow. If you're adamant about installing polyurea on the exterior, the only thing I would suggest is pick a color that yellow. If it starts to yellow at all underneath the chip, it's not a big deal. It kind of blends in with the color. So that's the main reason with polyurea. Polyurea offers both a mechanical as well as a chemical bond. It actually fuses a little bit into the concrete. It's a little bit more aggressive, whereas polyaspartic is mostly basically it's a mechanical grind. So as long as you grind the surface with a heavy 25 grit or 30 grit grind, you'll have that rough surface for that coating to stick to. Both of our systems, the polyurea and the polyaspartic, we offer 20-year warranties from the manufacturer. So both of them are guaranteed. We've been installing both of them for nearly a decade now, and as long as you do proper prep work, there is really no difference between those products. It's just whether you want a UV stable product or not. And for an exterior, I would want a UV stable product, which is going to be a polyaspartic.
It's interesting to me that you say that there's a 20-year warranty on it. What does that cover?
Well, here's what's interesting with the 20-year warranty. I don't know I'm not aware of any other companies that offer that long of a warranty. We were able to get the manufacturers to write that warranty exclusively for Certa Pro Painters nationwide. And so the warranty basically covers the majority of the cost in any floor is going to be the material. The material is very, very expensive, but it covers all your material. So if your material, that's going to be covered by the manufacturer. And in Certa Pro, we cover the labor. So basically, essentially, if you ever have a failure at your home, you give us a call. We come out to the home. We take care of it.
I mean, that's unheard of in these days, isn't it?
Well, we sell a lot of floors for a reason. We have quite the competitive warranty. I think our warranty, again, I'm not aware of everybody's warranty programs, but from what I've heard, we have the best warranty that's out there in the market right now.
And right now, you've got a summer sale going on, Matt.
Garage floors, painting, anything that we do, you can get 10% off through July 31st. So as long as you have your proposal and you get that signed and sent in prior to July 31st, you get 10% off at CertaPro.
We're here with Matt Hefter from CertaPro Painters, along with Jim Riedel, and for David Nason, I'm Libby Collins. And if you want to get through with some questions, you've got an opportunity right now on the Siding Unlimited WTMJ Talk and Text line at 855-616-1620. We've got more questions coming up on the Fix-It Show right here on WTMJ.
Ready to upgrade your home's exterior? Family owned and operated since 1983, J&J Contractors specializes in top quality windows, doors, and siding that enhance your home while increasing its value and energy efficiency. From modern vinyl siding to stylish fiberglass doors, and from double hung windows to sliding glass doors, they have the perfect solutions for your home. Contact them today for a free consultation. Just search online J&J Contractors or call 414-423-9200. J&J Contractors. Welcome home.
Have you seen the Milo bedroom at Penny Mustard Furnishings?
You know it, Daddy-O, and it's boss. I mean, if you don't dig the mod mood of the Milo bedroom, you're Dullsville.
Ben.
What's your bag, man?
Why are you talking like that?
I think I know. He's saying the Milo bedroom from Penny Mustard takes you back to the times of Mad Men, martinis, and mop tops.
Right on, Nicole.
Oh, well, I agree. It's refreshingly retro. I love Milo's clean, streamlined look.
It's a gas.
Sophisticrafted in the USA with solid wood and scaled to fit any room.
What you mean to say is, the Milo bedroom is perfect for your pad.
Yeah, dude. It's totally bodacious.
Wrong decade, Arvid.
Oh.
Don't be so square, man.
The Milo bedroom, starting at just $217 a month with no interest till July of 2027 through July 6th at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
Groovier versions of what people dig.
Penny Mustard Furnishing.
Vince Vitrano here for Connect Chiropractic. Get your aches and pains under control. But not only that, regular care with Connect Chiro can bring back your energy. A lot of folks start with headaches, back pain, and shoulder pain. How quickly you see results varies from person to person, but time and repetition are the key to staying on track. No twisting, no cracking, no popping. Connect Chiro docs use a special tool for all your adjustments, targeted results, and a gentler experience. Check out the new location in Oak Creek or get started at GoConnectChiro.com.
After a crash with a semi-truck, everything can change instantly. At Gruber Law Offices, we have the knowledge and experience to make sure you're protected. And we're here to help whenever you need us. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Over 60 years in business, with over 60 vehicles out in the field so we can respond ultra quickly to your emergency AC needs. When you call Quality for emergency AC service, you can count on a swift response to get the job done right away. So if the heat's got you to the point where it's just too hot to handle, call Quality and we'll get you the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. When you need commercial or residential plumbing service, you need it now. Call Quality. We have over a 60-year track record of taking care of people. And with over 60 vehicles ready to respond to your needs, we'll be there in a hurry, so you won't have to worry. This is Anthony Zaneski. For commercial or residential plumbing service, call Quality and get the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric.
It's the Fix-It Show, exclusively on 620 WTMJ.
It's 7:43 on WTMJ. It's the Fix-It Show. I'm Libby Collins, along with Jim Riedel in for David Nason, and we've got Matt Hefter here from CertaPro Painters. Let's go to Genesee and talk to Rudy. Rudy, what's your question on the Fix-It Show?
Hello, guys. How you doing today?
Great. You?
Great. Okay. I've got a retaining wall that it was quite a while back. I got some estimates on it, and it's a concrete block wall. Everybody wanted to spray it, so I did it myself. I painted, I rolled it, and I brushed it. And then it was just a year ago or so. I've got cedar fascia, and it needed painting, and it's a 2-story house. And everybody wanted to spray it, and I'm just wondering, are there any painters out there anymore that will use a paintbrush? Because if you paintbrush it, it's going to go on thicker. If you spray it, it's going to have to be thinned out.
Okay, so you can spray or brush or roll. With cedar, we do a lot of brush and roll. I do agree with you that if you're a novice or a homeowner and you don't have the experience, it may be harder to build up your mill thickness. But with you are right. If you grab a brush and you brush out your entire home with a good quality stain on a rough cedar home, it will go on thicker. Now, we don't thin down paint to spray. That's an old thing. What we do is put it in the proper tips and use the proper pumps. So you can spray a build mill thickness, and with rough cedar you have to back roll or back brush anyways. You can't just spray out the house and then let it be. You have to work it into the pores as well as to get everything to level off really nice. So the most important thing is, and you're right on, is you got to have the right mill thickness. So if your means of doing that are to brush and roll it, then brush and roll it. But for a professional paint contractor, it becomes an efficiency thing, right? If we can, paint your cedar home for $5,000 versus $7,000 and achieve the same result, customers are going to want the $5,000 versus the $7,000. But if a customer requests all brush and roll, we quote it brush and roll, and that's what we do.
All right, Rudy, thanks so much for your call. We've got Matt Hefter here from CertaPro Painters, and that line's open for you on the Siding Unlimited talk and text line 855-616-1620. We've been talking so much about outside painting this morning, Matt, but with that summer sale going on, and I'm thinking ahead to the holidays, a lot of people want to get that dining room, living room, the bedrooms ready for the guests during the holiday season. This is a good time to get painting interior, too.
Yeah, so inside of the house, a lot of people forget when we get these summer times. Everyone looks around the outside of the house and they get everything taken care of. And that is the right thing to do. In Wisconsin, you only get 7 months to paint on the outside of the home, so it's pretty important to get those projects checked off. But we also do a ton of interior painting. So kitchen cabinets, millwork, staining of millwork. Even refreshing your stain. A lot of our homes is built in the 80s, it had that light oak color, and the customers all the time ask us, hey, can you darken it up? Absolutely. So we can do that through a toning process or even stripping and refinishing. But interior right now is a great time to get interiors done, although most of the paints that we use nowadays are not solvent-based like the old days where everything was oil-based and solvent-based. Nowadays, they're acrylics, but there still is the smell, so you can crack open the windows and get some fresh air in while you're painting.
Yeah, that's a great idea. One thing that I think a lot of people dread whenever you're doing interior painting is, oh my gosh, the house is going to be a mess. And how do you address that? Because I'm sure you hear that all the time is, oh boy, do I really want to tear the inside of my house apart while you're doing this big job?
Well, it is a slight inconvenience, but, with CertaPro we say be happy, which means let us do the work. We move the furniture to the center of the room. We cover it with plastic. We paint the room, and then we put it back together for you. We really do try to make it as easy as possible and try to be as, innovative as possible when we go into customers' homes. And part of that is having that full service where we're moving furniture and putting everything back. And it's generally a pretty clean process. I mean, paint is one of those things. It's liquid. So if it's dripping, we're on top of that really quick with drop cloths and plastic. So when we leave your home should be just about the same condition it was, but just looking more beautiful with your new colors.
That's what I was going to say, is you get rid of all those scuffs and the discoloration, maybe from where the sunlight came in with just a coat of paint.
Absolutely. Little refresh, recoat, even if it's the same color, makes the house look beautiful. And it's important because, even caulk lines and making sure that you're real tight with your caulk lines, all that stuff matters. Over time, give it 10 years or something, it starts to crack, and it just doesn't look as good.
Man.
So you just want to make sure you once in a while give a refresh to your interior of your home.
How often should you paint the interior of your home?
We see with most of our previous customers, we are on average back at a customer's house every 2 years. And it's because a lot of times, people just want to paint a room or a couple rooms. So you might have 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 rooms in your home. It's doing a couple rooms every other year, and that's what we see. So it's about every 2 years we're back at our customers' homes, painting something that they are looking to change a room or style and colors expressions. So a lot of times people just, I thought I loved this color and, I liked it at the time, but I don't like it anymore. Right now, customers are painting so many things grays, blue tones and grays. It seems to be very popular right now, and they just want to refresh it.
What about things like nail holes and, where the house starts to settle and you see sort of those cracks in the corner? Is that included, getting those repaired when you paint?
Yeah, we're full service. So plaster repairs, drywall repairs, texturing, that's just part of the job. We have to repair cracks, drywall cracks, plaster cracks, as well as anything, related to nail pops and all that stuff. So if the customer wants their nail holes preserved, they'll let us know. Otherwise, we ask that question, we fill them, and they can start over from scratch.
And there's no better time to get this done than during the summer sale with CertaPro Painters. Matt, we're going to ask you about that in just a couple minutes. We're here on the Fix-It Show. Jim Riedel is in for David Nason. I'm in for Dayton Kane. I'm Libby Collins. And we'll have more after this. It's going to be a beautiful day today. You're going to see a lot of sunshine. Temperatures are going to get into the low 80s if you're further inland, close to about 78 if you're out there on the Summerfest grounds. It's 65 degrees at 7:52 on WTMJ.
From the post-game show to the morning show, there's no rest for baseball and Dominic Cotroneo.
I was like a kid on Christmas Eve. I couldn't sleep last night. I was just so excited to get ready to watch games that count.
Dominic Cotroneo is our Brewers 360 guest every Monday morning at 8:45 on Wisconsin's Morning News.
There are some roster decisions I do want to break down here, and then we'll get into the lineup.
Brewers 360 is sponsored by Outdoor Living Unlimited and Big Fish Contracting.
WTMJ's John Mercure here. If you're trying to make sense of the economy and where we're headed, Thursday, July 3rd, you need to check out a webinar I'm co-hosting with Annex Wealth Management Chief Economist Brian Jacobson. Thursday, July 3rd, 9 a.m., you'll get instant insight just after the jobs report is released. We'll provide instant analysis on the employment picture, answer your questions, and explain what it all means. Visit WTMJ.com, click the Instant Insight Register Now button, or check out events at AnnexWealth.com. Thursday, July 3rd at 9 a.m. It's free. Register today.
With over 57 years of experience, family-owned Yutka Fence installs high-quality fencing with residential options, including vinyl, wood, aluminum, chain link, and ornamental fences. Committed to craftsmanship and customer service, Yutka Fence doesn't just build fences, they build relationships based on care, trust, precision, and protecting what matters most. Mention you're a WTMJ fan for 10% off your project. Schedule your free estimate today at yutkafence.com or call 262-859-3226.
Without an Advent clinic nearby, people suffering needlessly from chronic nasal congestion and sinus infections would be stuck with either Band-Aid or Sledgehammer solutions. Band-Aids are pills or nasal sprays, and they're not true solutions. Surgery is a sledgehammer, and that's what we're trying to avoid. Because most people don't need surgery for nose and sinus issues, nor do they want a 14-day recovery. Our unique Advent approach can, in 20 minutes in our office, open your blocked nose for good, with only 1-day recovery. I'm Advent founder Dr. Kandula. Outside of Advent's four walls, invasive surgery is what they'll recommend. But here you will find effective and convenient in-office solutions to help you stop the need for Band-Aids and avoid the sledgehammer.
Go to adventknows.com to schedule your appointment, because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better. Most insurance accepted.
Hi, I'm Eric Brown, owner of Outdoor Living Unlimited. Outdoor Living Unlimited is Wisconsin's #1 TimberTech decking installer. We install anything decks and more. Stop by Outdoor Living Unlimited showroom and visit OutdoorLivingUnlimited.com.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
How do you get pee out of an old mattress?
Well,
I'm asking for a friend.
the best way to remove urine from a mattress is to trade in that old mattress for a new Beautyrest or Sealy Posturepedic.
But that'll cost a lot of money.
Not at Hasselus Mattress. Through Monday, trade in your old mattress and get additional savings of $248 off a queen and $348 off a king. And that's on top of our everyday low prices.
Come on, everybody says lowest prices.
Others sell a Sealy Posturepedic Queen Emeryville A mattress for $12.68. Hasselus sells it for $10.34. But through Monday, it's just $7.86. And check out the low prices on Beautyrest and more. Plus, free next day delivery.
What does my friend do with his old soaked mattress?
We haul it away for pee.
What was that?
Sorry, I meant for free.
Sure you did.
Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hasselus.com.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
I'm a savage.
Making sure your honey-do list doesn't turn into a honey, what did you do list? It's the Fix-It Show on 620 WTMJ.
And that is Megan Thee Stallion, who's going to be appearing tonight on the big stage at Summerfest. And right now, we'll take caller number 3. You're going to win a pack of 4 tickets to Summerfest at 855-616-1620. We have Matt Hefter here. He is with CertaPro Painters from all of Wisconsin. And we've got one more question on that talk and text line, Jim.
Yeah. Someone wants to know basically about consulting about paint colors, and how do you guys do that from the initial, view of the house and final, all the way through final approval. I'm sure that a lot of people have a hard time sometimes picking out colors. So how do you guys help them with that?
Yeah, so first of all of our estimators are trained in helping customers do color consultations with colors. We bring out fan decks. We help you choose. Sometimes we do paint samples on the walls if requested. We also have a cool software where we can take a picture of your home and allows you to be able to place colors on it so you can see what it looks like before the paint hits the wall.
I love that.
We've been using that technology for about 5 years, and wow, does that just solves a lot of problems. It can be stressful picking colors, especially when you get into these grays and blue tones, because they look on the card one way and then the light hits it a different way, and next thing you know, your color is too blue or not blue enough. And so it's really nice to have the color visualizer because it really lays out what that looks like. So when the paint hits the walls, it looks the way you anticipated.
Matt, I could talk to you all morning, but we've got to go. Let's tell everybody one more time about the big CertaPro Painters summer sale.
Summer sale, 10% off any services that you get from CertaPro Painters. You give us a call at 1-800-GO-CERTA to schedule your estimate. You can also schedule your estimate by going online at our website and CertaPro.com, Certa with a C, and schedule your estimate for the time block that works best for you and your family.
Matt Hefter, great to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. You guys have a wonderful day.
I'm Libby Collins. We got Jim Riedel in for David Nason, and we're both going to be back after the news. And we're joined by Scott Klein from J&B Construction. And the Fix-It Show is sponsored by Siding Unlimited and J&B Construction.
This has been the Fix-It Show on WTMJ, presented by J&B Construction and Siding Unlimited. Advice and opinions expressed during the program are solely that of the hosts or guests, and not WTMJ Radio or Good Karma Brands Milwaukee, LLC.
Hi, this is Jeff Levering with the Brewers Radio Network. Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's trusted name in home improvement, does more than just top-quality roofing. They're your go-to for maintenance-free siding and energy-efficient windows, too. Ridgetop has expert credentials with leading manufacturers like Pella, James Hardie, and LP Smart Siding. For over 20 years, they delivered exceptional craftsmanship and service. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com. Ridgetop Exteriors, where customer service always comes first.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
Hi, this is Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas. And you know, I'm a consumer just like you. And my ears perk up for pain relief messages just like you. But some of these ads...
Since I started taking this natural supplement, within weeks, my pain is completely gone.
I mean, come on. Give me a break. The truth is, there are imbalances in your body causing your pain. And there's physical therapy, which we are highly skilled at, that can improve imbalances. And there are alternative pain solutions. But not all of them are proven, safe, effective, or affordable. At Rejuvenex, the effectiveness of Toradol joined with hyaluronic acid has been proven. Our treatments are affordable, FDA approved, safe, and they're powerful medicines. They calm inflammation and cushion joints, and they can make your pain go away.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain. Rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Hey, WTMJ's John Mercure here. They're the best in the business. They are CertaPro painters. Now's the time to get on their schedule. Their summer sales discount goes through the end of July. Do it now. They painted our house, the outside, absolutely fantastic. They're kind, they're thoughtful. They moved our patio furniture out of the way and moved it right back where it belonged. It is CertaPro painters. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. For your home or business, they're the best. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated.
Get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval to buy at ACCUNET.com.
Ain't no mountain high enough for this crew.
Fly ball deep right. Wow, Yelich demolishes one up into the night sky, all the way back to the wall.
The Brewers are hosting the Rockies.
465 feet for Yelly.
Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts today at 2:35. We are the home of the Brewers. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
At 8 o'clock, it's 68 degrees in Milwaukee. Today's going to be mostly sunny with a high of 78 degrees near the lake and 86 degrees inland. Tonight's going to be mainly clear with a low of 67 degrees, and Sunday's going to be partly cloudy, hot and humid with a chance of thunderstorms late in the day with a high of 91 degrees. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, I'm Sean Brinda. 2 Milwaukee police officers are still in the hospital recovering after an officer-involved shooting on Thursday night. Milwaukee County Judge David Borowski tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News how the shooting may have been planned from the beginning.
It may be that there may have been a fake call to get the police over to that area. It appears by all accounts it was an out-and-out ambush. You have officers that were pulled from Bayview to the central city. So they're in an area that they're not as familiar with. They're not maybe quite as capable of patrolling. They don't know the ins and outs of the neighborhood, the alleys, the areas. And you have 2 officers shot and one in very, very grave condition.
Judge Borowski says more support needs to go towards law enforcement in the city and points out that this has been the 4th officer-involved shooting in the past 5 months. And the Senate is working throughout the weekend as Republican leaders try to push through President Trump's One Big Beautiful Bill. ABC's Christiane Cordero reports from Washington.
Even though Republicans have a 3-vote Senate majority, this is far from a slam dunk. Some Republicans are frustrated by the bill's price tag. Others want to see the full final text of the bill before committing to it, as there are still some outstanding issues. If it passes, the question becomes, can the House deal with any changes the Senate makes? Because any revisions have to go back through that chamber before reaching the president.
The imposed deadline for the budget by the president is set for July 4th. And since the COVID-19 pandemic ended, the modern workforce has changed considerably. Workplace expert Paul Peters tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News that workers have become more pessimistic with work, especially when it comes to returning to the office.
When you're coming from an environment where you get to work from your home in your pajamas per se, and now you're going back into the workforce, it's going to create some tension because people got used to, working from home.
Peters says companies that provide more incentives or benefits to employees can find better performances and more optimistic perspectives. and a look behind the scenes at what it takes to run the world's largest music festival.
It takes more than lights and music to make Summerfest run. Jason Stewie, Vice President of Planning and Development, says the real magic comes from the hundred of workers behind the scenes, people who keep the grounds moving day and night.
Just have a great collection of professionals here, whether it's the cleaning crew, the stage hands, the production folks. They truly are experts at what they do and the best in the industry. And it truly is the people that we have here that make this happen.
Stewie says without them, even the most carefully planned day at Summerfest would be a major challenge. Nizer Spencer, WTMJ News.
And the largest fencing competition in the world begins Saturday at the Baird Center in downtown Milwaukee.
10 days of competition, nearly 13,000 entries, and several Olympians, including Margherita Guzzi Vincenti.
It's going to be a huge competition.
Born in Milan, Italy, Vincenti competed for Team USA in the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris. She now lives and trains in Heartland.
We have one of the best facilities here, not only in Wisconsin, but also in the country.
Training is already underway for the 2028 Games in Los Angeles.
We never stop training, and actually the peak for fencing, and especially for épée, is in the 30s, and that's where I am right now, so it's going to be just perfect.
Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
The competition wraps up July 7th and is free and open to the public. Sports, traffic, weather, and next Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News time is 8:04.
Erica, it's good to see you.
How are things at our amazing Germantown location?
Absolutely fantastic.
We heard you had a bold idea. What is it?
We're celebrating our 45th year in business, so I think we should give away some natural diamonds.
Wow, that is a bold idea. How many and how big?
3/4 of a carat. 9 natural diamonds, each one clarity enhanced for maximum brilliance. 1 diamond for each store.
How should we mount them, Erica?
We'll give them away as diamond pendants.
So each of the 9 Kessler stores will have their own diamond pendant to give away?
Yeah, and all a person will have to do is to walk into a store and register to win.
Can a person travel to all 9 stores and register at each one?
Yeah, why not? And people will have from now until July 28th to register.
I'm in.
Me too.
It's unanimous, and people should bring in all their old jewelry so that we can professionally clean it for them for free.
That makes so much difference.
For the location of the Kesslers nearest you, visit KesslersDiamonds.com.
Your home can be more maintenance-free when you rely on J&B.
This is Tom Feza. When I need information about siding, I call Scott Klein, owner of J&B Construction, provider of high-quality exterior home improvement products and services since 1958.
I'm Scott Klein. If you're tired of painting or your siding is beyond repair, it may be time to look at the advantages of a new siding system. Additional insulation, along with Tyvek's weatherization system, can significantly improve your home's energy efficiency while protecting it from water and air infiltration. We offer a variety of siding products, all installed by J&B's certified employees, which will provide decades of performance and beauty.
For a complimentary siding evaluation, call Scott at 262-437-0537 or visit jnbconstruction.com.
Your home can be more maintenance-free when you rely on J&B.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all Sports Desk. The Brewers won Friday night against the Colorado Rockies from home, winning 10-6. Game 2 of the 3-game series continues later this afternoon, with our coverage of the game starting at 2 o'clock this afternoon with Brewers warm-up. Taking a look at your roads with your WTMJ Time Saver traffic, we have one incident out on the road at I-41 94 North at Drexel Avenue. The right shoulder is blocked due to a disabled semi-truck. On that, roads are looking pretty clear across southeast Wisconsin.
Traffic is sponsored by East Troy Lions Music Festival. Next weekend, live music, carnival rides, and fun for all.
East Troy Lions Music Festival is next weekend. Live music,
inland. Tonight will be mainly clear with a low of 67 degrees. Sunday is looking to be partly cloudy, hot and humid with a chance of thunderstorms late in the day with a high of 91 degrees. Monday, mostly cloudy and humid. Slight chance of showers and storms throughout the day with a high of 83 degrees. Tuesday will be mostly sunny with a high of 84 degrees. And Wednesday is looking to be mostly sunny with a high of 85 degrees. Right now in Madison, it's 66 degrees. In Green Bay, it's 67 degrees. In Waukesha, it's 68 degrees. And right here in Milwaukee, it's 68 degrees. I'm Sean Brenda, Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 8:08.
This is The Fix-It Show on WTMJ. Advice and opinions expressed during the program are solely that of the hosts or guests and not WTMJ Radio or Good Karma Brands Milwaukee, LLC. Need help around the house? Even the handiest do-it-yourselfer needs an extra hand sometimes.
You fixed it!
During the Fix It Show on 620 WTMJ.
And the Fix It Show is sponsored by Siding Unlimited and J&B Construction. Dayton Kane off today. I'm Libby Collins, and we are joined, of course, with Jim Riedel.
Hello.
Who's in for David Nason.
Yeah, I don't know where he is, but, he's busy somewhere.
Oh, he'll be back next week. Well, we've got a full studio today. Let's introduce you to Scott Klein, one of my favorite people from J&B Construction.
Good morning, Libby. How are you?
And you've brought along your beautiful daughter, Allie Klein.
Good morning. Glad to be here.
And also Tim Comerford, who's the general manager.
Good morning.
Great to see all of you.
It's good to be seen.
Yes.
Allie, I got to ask you, because before we got on the air today, we were chatting about some of your creative things that you do when you're not working at J&B. But, it is interesting because J&B, and one of the reasons I've used you, and Scott, you know I use you because you've done a lot of projects for us through the years. But one of the reasons I do is because you are now third generation of the Klein family.
Yes, so we started in 1958. My grandpa started it, Jack Klein. So me and my twin brother are going in third generation.
And why is that important, Scott? Because obviously you took over from your dad. Now your kids are taking over from you, although you're still quite active. Why is that so important in a business like yours?
It really wasn't important to me that they had to follow me or continue on. I left it to their decisions, and Allie was going to school in Oshkosh and did some other things, but she worked with us in the summer, and she was the last one that I thought that would be involved. We have 3 kids, and Aaron's not with the company yet, but he may be coming down the road. But, Allie just said, it's a great opportunity. I like what I see. And she had a very good relationship with her grandfather and so forth. So she got to see the importance of, the family and generations, and our name is on every project that we do. And, I think there's a lot of ownership and stuff. And I'm extremely proud of both Allie and Austin on how they're continuing on in the third generation. And my wife and I, Wendy, and Wendy's very much involved, and I know Libby, you know Wendy very well.
Wendy and I have a lot of conversations.
Yes, she's very good at that. And, so we're here to hand off the baton, and we're going to be around for quite a while. And Tim's in place to, make sure everything goes well and so forth. So it's a very exciting time for us at J&B and a lot of positive things in place. 68 years, I've been doing it for 48. So 68 years, long time, good reputation. Can't tell you how many projects we do multiple times, with what happens with people having a roof on for 30 years and now they need a new one. I think we've done at least a dozen of them already this year where we did the roof previously. And so it's all good. I'm very happy with everything.
And Allie, your role is what? Office and production manager.
Yes.
Now, what does that mean?
So I'm managing the office right now. We actually had a new hire, Charlie. So I am working on training her. So we take in all the initial leads, we set up the appointment, and then I follow the job all the way through, starting from production. So as soon as they sign the contract, scheduling the job, and then all the way through the final walkthrough. So I work very closely with each customer.
And when somebody calls you, what are some of the questions that you are asked most often?
I would say, a lot of people think that their roof is going to last the manufacturer warranty, which is 30 years, or for some people, it'll be like a 30-year shingle. But what they don't know is that on average, a roof will last between 20 and 25 years. Usually has to do with the install, whether or not there was proper ventilation installed, weather over time. So I do tell people, just because you have a 30-year, it says 30-year shingle, you do have to take in that there could be other things that, can contribute to making the roof not last as long.
And in addition to Allie Klein, we've got Tim Comerford here, who's the general manager. And that's interesting what Allie just said about there are a lot of conditions out there that will determine whether or not you need that roof replacement.
Yeah, that's right. With Allie, you can see how knowledgeable she is already on this, so it kind of makes my life a little easier, but there are a lot of implications that can affect your roof, not only your roof, but your siding, whether it be ventilation, the type of shingle you have on there, the setting in which your house is on your property can affect it. So there's a lot of things that can affect it, but we're always evolving with technology, and we have the resources to look into it and make sure that whatever your project requires, we're there to make sure it's done proper.
We've got the experts here from J&B Construction. If you've got projects you're looking at, particularly roofs, I know we had some hailstorms out there, so a lot of people are looking at repairs, replacements, things like that, or maybe windows or other construction projects like that. J&B is here to answer your questions, and if you have any, you can get through on the Siding Unlimited talk and text line at 855-616-1620. It's going to be a beautiful sunny day in southeastern Wisconsin. Temperatures getting up into the low 80s. It is 67 degrees at 8:14 on WTMJ.
While your record says that you prefer to hang out at the bottom, just make sure you don't leave anything over the middle.
Two-pitch Ortiz hits in the air to the left. With some carry, Frazier back, still back. Wall, it's gone! Back-to-back innings with a home run for Joey.
The Brewers host the Rockies for a 3-game series. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts today at 2:35. We are the home of the Brewers, WTMJ.
And the Fix It Show live stream and podcast are brought to you by J&J Contractors. From roofing to windows, kitchen, bathrooms, and more, J&J Contractors proudly provides a full catalog of exceptional exterior and interior home improvement services all under one roof. Visit jjcontractorsllc.com or call 414-423-9200 for your free consultation. J&J Contractors, welcome home.
Remember mixtapes?
I was more of an 8-track guy myself.
You know, the new Marshfield 7000 Sulfat Penny Mustard reminds me of the world's greatest mixtape.
We have taken the latest and greatest components of every configurable sofa and mixed them all together into one.
It's kind of like a greatest hits album, except you can sit on it.
The Marshfield 7000 Sofa, starting at just $89 a month with no interest till July of 2027. Through July 6th at Penny Mustard.
Showrooms in Milwaukee and Chicago.
PennyMustard.com.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala, nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ish Nala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ish Nala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars? Each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ish Nala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ish Nala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ish Nala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
You'll find that the licensed and certified electricians from Quality are top-notch. We've been around for over 60 years, so expect nothing but the best. And here's the kicker. With over 60 vehicles out there on the roads, you're not going to have to wait very long at all for the electrical service you need now. This is Anthony Zanevsky. For all your residential electrical needs, call Quality.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric. At Quality, we offer the most respected brand names in heating and air conditioning. Armstrong and Carrier. It doesn't get any better. And our technicians are top-notch. I know, because I handpicked every one of them. They're vetted and thoroughly trained. Hey, they're the cream of the crop. And that's why our quality workmanship guarantee is the strongest in the business.
Call Quality for the signature service you deserve.
Call Quality. Heating, cooling, plumbing, and electric.
From a leaky pipe finishing your basement, The Fix It Show on 620 WTMJ.
And we are back with Jim Riedel. I'm Libby Collins. And we've got Scott Klein here along with Allie Klein and Tim Comerford, all from J&B Construction. And Allie, what is that phone number for J&B if anybody wants to reach out to you?
Yep. So you can reach us at 262 888-437-0537, or you can visit our website, jnbconstruction.com, and you can reach us through there.
We were talking off the air about some of the things that you do, Scott, and one of the things that you brought up, in addition, we mentioned the roofing and the windows and everything, but you also have sheet metal that you do within J&B. Explain that.
Well, we have our own sheet metal division, and Landon runs that division, which has been fantastic. So as with any roof project that you do, there's flashing details, there's chimney flashings, there's chimney caps that go on the top of the chimneys that really aren't masonry chimneys. So there's a lot of different things going on. I can't get kits for those. I can't go to my supplier and tell them I need an 8-inch reveal with a 1-inch riglet cut, give me a kit. It's all hand fabricated. So we bring in either 3x8 or 3x10 or 4x10 sheets of metal, all pack clad pre-finished material, and then we fabricate what we need to make. So it works out really nice. We can also do some custom copper. We did some bay windows already this year, Tim, right?
Mm-hmm.
And stuff, and out of sheet metal. And so there's some different things that come into play, with the roof project or the siding project.
Tim, why is it important to be able to fabricate your own metal work versus getting just something that comes in a standard size?
Well, the problem with a standard size, there's a lot of chimneys that are hand framed versus a masonry chimney. A masonry chimney is going to have a mortar cap on top. What we're talking about is going to be a wood framed chimney, which is pretty much what the newer houses, recent modern times, what they're built with. And it's a tin steel chimney cap. A lot of them are galvanized. We can get colored steel that we put on there, but every size is a little different. So it's important that you have a sheet metal shop in order to custom fabricate it to the specific size of each house. It's one of the many overlooked, I think, components of a roof job is the chimney cap as well as the chimney flashing. Some companies come in and we'll replace your roof, but they're going to reuse your existing flashing. When you tear that roof off, a lot of times that chimney area is a problem area. We find rotted sheathing there, and it has to be replaced. And it's because that flashing has failed, and sometimes it does start from that chimney cap. So take a look at your chimney cap. Sometimes you'll see rust or streaking coming down your chimney chase. That's an indicator that maybe there's some failure starting to happen with that cap. So keep a look at that. And there is some sealant that goes around the penetration of that can break down. So it's important that area has some attention given to it.
The flashings are really the unsung hero of roofs. Everybody sees the shingles and says, "Oh, I got a nice roof," but they never pay attention to any of the metal that goes along with it, and it works together as an integral system. So for you guys to make that stuff yourself, I mean, Scott, when you started, roofs were pretty simple, hips and gables, 50 years ago, but now the roofs are so complicated on the styles of houses. So for you guys to build, to make that stuff custom to every job is just, it doesn't slow the job down. You can't just buy some of the stuff right out of the store like some people do.
Well, and those chimney flashings, to have a sheet metal shop like we do, it's an integral part of that roofing system. So for a company, a lot of companies don't have that ability, the shop enabled, to custom fabricate that. So they're willing to overlook it. They don't want to bring it up because it's something they can't handle.
You might a crew might run into it right on the job, and they might say, "Hey, we need this piece, and we need it like in hours," and other people can't go and just get it, so they try to make something work. So it's a really important part of the system.
You can't buy that stuff, and tell me a chimney that you've seen where one flashing will fit the next. It just doesn't happen. And what I'm seeing a lot out there, and it's a shame, but it's reality, is the contractor will say we're putting on a new chimney flashing, and that's all it says in the contract. If you look at our contract, there's about 10 parts to what the chimney flashing is, from the ice and water shield around the perimeter to the 1-inch riglet cut into the masonry to new step flashing, which is the base flashing, to the counter flashing, talking about the material and so forth. What I'm seeing a lot in today's world in the last 10 years really is contractors will keep the old flashing on, take aluminum and just put it over it. And now it looks brand new. They caulk it in, and it looks brand new, but I can't tell you how many flashings we fix where that was the case. And the people, the problem is people don't know the difference, with it. And that's why I'm a big advocate, get multiple bids. How many contractors are going to tell you to get multiple bids? Not too many. My attitude is let the best guy win. And one of the advantages of a consumer getting multiple bids is like it was old school back when I first started. That's how they educated themselves on what they need and so forth. Talk to a few contractors, see what you need.
You hear one thing from one guy, another thing from another.
Yeah, when you're talking multiple bids, it's not a matter of just getting a price. It's you're interviewing the contractor. What are they giving you? You're getting some information out of them. You're building your knowledge base for your project. So it is important. And to Scott's point, when some people put on there they're going to reflash your chimney, they're using aluminum. We're using steel. So there's a big difference in products, and it is important to get that knowledge before you start that project.
You can't even use aluminum with masonry. You get a corrosion effect.
Right.
People don't realize that. So, there's a lot of shortcuts out there. There's a lot of reasons why roofs don't last as long as Allie was talking about earlier. There's other integral parts that come into play. But I'm a big fan that, talking with contractors and letting consumers educate themselves and create that relationship like Tim was talking about to get you to a point where you've got a comfort zone. We've been doing this for 68 years. There's a lot of contractors out there saying they're going to redeem the industry's image and all this other stuff, and I'll be the first one to admit there's not a shortage of bad stories about roofing contractors. It's been that way my whole life, but we've been doing it for 68 years. And, it's something that should be positive for the consumer.
Allie, if somebody wants to get an estimate, what do they need to do?
So they can call our office at 262-437-0537, and they can set it up through me or Charlie, or they can visit our website, jnbconstruction.com, and set it up through there.
And if you've got questions, especially, we're talking about the flashing and the chimneys and the roofing. If you've got questions about that or anything else for Scott and Tim and Allie at J&B Construction, you can get through on our Siding Unlimited talk and text line at 855-616-1620. It's 826 and 67 degrees at WTMJ.
It's WTMJ's Debbie Lazaga for Comfort Awnings. This summer, I'm getting relief from the hot Wisconsin sun whenever I need it with my motorized retractable awning from Comfort Awnings. Sensors are also available that detect strong winds and rain to extend or retract your awning. They even protect against UV radiation so you can safely enjoy the outdoors all summer long. Family owned and located in Burlington, Comfort Awnings expertly installs custom awnings that fit your home and style. Right now, you can receive $400 off your awning or screen. Call 414-AWNINGS or visit comfortawnings.com.
Welcome back to Ask Hasslis.
How do you get pee out of an old mattress?
By trading in that old mattress for a new Beauty Rest or Sealy Posturepedic.
But that'll cost a lot of money.
Not at Hasslis Mattress. Through Monday, trade in your old mattress and get additional savings of $248 off a queen and $348 off a king. Plus, next day delivery and haul away of the old mattress for pee.
What was that?
Sorry, I meant for free.
Sure you did.
Open 9 to 9. Find an employee-free showroom near you at Hasslis.com.
WTMJ's John Mercure here. If you're trying to make sense of the economy and where we're headed, Thursday, July 3rd, you need to check out a webinar I'm co-hosting with Annex Wealth Management Chief Economist Brian Jacobson. Thursday, July 3rd, 9 a.m., you'll get instant insight just after the jobs report is released. We'll provide instant analysis on the employment picture, answer your questions, and explain what it all means. Visit WTMJ.com, click the Instant Insight Register Now button, or check out events at AnnexWealth.com. Thursday, July 3rd at 9 a.m. It's free. Register today.
So how is that possible? 1.9% real estate commission? There must be something you're not telling me.
I hear that a lot. The truth is, everybody could do it, but they choose not to because folks keep paying more than they have to. I guess they just haven't heard yet that Century 21 Benefit Realty can make that 1.9% real estate commission promise on the sale of your home and stick to it. So I'd like to think that's going to make your decision easy. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. You only get one chance to make a first impression, and that goes double for your home listing, because that's how you're going to get the most value. By having a customized marketing plan specific to your property with professional photos, global marketing, and the built-in experience that Century 21 Benefit Realty has brought to the table since 2004. And being joined with Century 21 just makes all of the above stand out that much more. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. Family owned, family operated, family values. Church and Chapel Funeral Homes. There's one near you.
Now, back to the Fix-It Show on 620 WTMJ.
And Jim Riedel's here in for David Nason. You've got a question for Scott and Allie and Tim.
On the text, someone came in with something off of TikTok, believe it or not, filled with ads for rubber shingles, good or garbage. So we had a little discussion here, and we're not sure exactly what they mean, but Tim, why don't you say... Oh, Scott. Okay.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of new products that continuously come out. And
never ending.
And I don't know that anybody wants to be the guinea pig. I've seen this throughout my career with J&B. You know, products come out, they don't last, they get bought by another company, they get improved, this happens, that happens. But there's polymer products out there that maybe that's what they're talking about, like a Da Vinci or something like that. But the big thing now with warranties is we can get you a 50-year non-prorated warranty on an asphalt shingle. It's a registered warranty directly from the manufacturer, and it's also a situation where all the components that we're using are going to be part of that warranty too. So it's a starter, the underlayment, all these things combined go into the product. So, 50-year non-prorated and it transfers one time, that is great.
Right.
And Allie, before we go to news, one more time, if anybody wants to get an appointment, how do they get in touch with you?
You can give our office a call, 262-437-0537, or visit our website, jnbconstruction.com.
And if you have questions, we've got that Siding Unlimited talk and text line open for you at 855-616-1620. It is 8:30, and we have Sean Brinda in the WTMJ Breaking News Center.
Thanks, Libby. One man is in the hospital after a crash took place early this morning. The crash took place on I-43 near Port Washington Road, where a car struck a construction vehicle in an active work zone at that location. The sole worker in that construction vehicle suffered a concussion, but was otherwise uninjured. The driver of the crashed vehicle suffered serious injuries and is at a local hospital on a ventilator. The only other passenger in the car was uninjured. I-43 North was closed for a majority of the morning until 7 a.m. An active investigation is ongoing under the county sheriff's office. And an unofficial new world record has been set in New Berlin. 53-year-old Rochelle Mason from Muskego set the unofficial women's world plank record. Mason set the world record last Friday at the Princeton Club by planking for 4 hours, 30 minutes, and 20 seconds, going 9 seconds over the previous world record. The Journal-Sentinel reports that in comparison, a direct flight from Milwaukee to Los Angeles takes 3 hours and 53 minutes. Mason says she submitted her application on Monday to the Guinness Book of World Records to claim the new record for herself. And the names of 2 more Republicans are floating around for Wisconsin governor. Sources tell our news partners at the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel that Tim Michels and Eric Hovde are considering bids for the 2026 race. Michels, the co-owner of a Milwaukee-based construction business, lost to Governor Tony Evers in 2022, and Hovde, a multimillionaire in real estate and banking, lost his run for a U.S. Senate seat to Tammy Baldwin in November. So far, the only official candidate in the race is Washington County Executive Josh Schoeman. Taking a look at your roads, your WTMJ time saver traffic. We have one inbound the road at I-41 94 north at Drexel Avenue. Right shoulder is blocked due to a disabled semi-truck. And that roads are looking clear across southeast Wisconsin.
Traffic is sponsored by Rejuvenix Arthritis Pain Clinics. Go to rejuvenix.com for an appointment.
Go to rejuvenix.com to request your appointment.
All right, time for your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Today's going to be mostly sunny with a high of 78 degrees near the lake and 86 degrees inland. Tonight, mainly clear with a low of 67 degrees. Tomorrow will be partly cloudy, hot and humid with a chance of thunderstorms late in the day with a high of 91 degrees. Monday, mostly cloudy and humid, slight chance of showers and storms with a high of 83 degrees. Tuesday's going to be mostly sunny with a high of 84 degrees. And Wednesday will be mostly sunny with a high of 85 degrees. Right now in Green Bay, it's currently 70 degrees. In Waukesha, it's currently 69 degrees. And right here in Milwaukee, it's currently 67 degrees. I'm Sean Brinda, Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 8:33.
If you want to make your home more maintenance-free, rely on J&B Construction. Whether it's roofing, siding, skylights, or attic installation, J&B Construction has been a provider of high-quality exterior home improvement products and services since 1958. When working with J&B, you're going to find superior products that have exceptional overall durability and energy efficiency, adding value to your most important investment. Installed by J&B's certified employees, your home will experience decades of performance and beauty. At J&B, the objective is for its skilled sales staff to educate their clients, assisting them in their selections and making the process enjoyable. In addition to helping to choose the best products, J&B considers the home's architectural style and surroundings to enhance curb appeal. For a complimentary evaluation of your home's exterior, call J&B at 262-437-0537. That's 262-437-0537. Or visit jnbconstruction.com. Remember, your home can be more maintenance-free when you rely on J&B.
Slide into your neighborhood Century Food Store to score the freshest produce, tastiest treats, and everything in between. Now through Wednesday, save on 5.5 to 8 ounce selected varieties Crystal Farm shredded or chunk cheese, 2 for $5. 9 to 16 ounce selected varieties Old Dutch tortilla or crunch chips or salsa, 2 for $5.50. 10 to 10.8 ounce selected varieties Bird's Eye frozen vegetables, 4 for $5. 18 to 54 count selected varieties Hefty plates or bowls, 2 for $5.
Attention shoppers. Safe.
Okay. Ooh, pineapple fulfills every need.
While you're shopping, a drive way back, it's a gunner.
There's something goofy going on with the PA.
Need a price check and I'll take me out to the ball game.
See, what is going on?
You're hearing things. We're at Century Foods, and you can't take your mind off winning that ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes.
I'm hoping to throw out the first pitch at a Milwaukee baseball game.
Or attend batting practice.
Or hold the finish line ribbon for the racing sausages.
You don't say.
The ultimate baseball fan sweepstakes at Century Foods. Enter on Century's Facebook or Instagram by July 30th.
This is the Fix-It Show on 620 WTMJ.
And we are back with Scott Klein from J&B Construction, along with Allie Klein, and also Tim Comerford is GM at J&B, and we've got Jim Riedel in for David Nason.
Yes. So people often wonder, like, when do I need a new roof? And what can someone do that's listening to maybe take a look from the ground so they're safe as to what when they look up there, what's some signs that might be pointing them in the direction that, hey, it's coming up on a good time to do the roof?
Yep. So some things you might notice is deterioration of shingles. You might see granules in your gutters or a downspout discharge of granules. You might have an active leak here and there. You might notice streaking on your roof, so some areas looking darker than others. On average, an asphalt roof will last between 20 and 25 years. So once you know you're getting up to 20, it's always smart to call around to a local reputable company and get a few estimates.
Now, I was a realtor for a while, and sometimes people buy a house and they have no idea how old the roof is. So, appearances can really, they don't necessarily know what they're looking at. But if they see like shingles that are cupping or curling, or especially if they're close enough that they can see them, that one thing might be to look at them with binoculars or something like that.
Yep, that's another thing. Curling shingles. You might even see shingles on the grass. That's a huge sign.
Pieces of them, yeah.
Pieces of shingles.
And when you said granules discharge, so people that have downspouts that just drain out on the grass, if you look at where it comes out after a rain, do you see a lot of sandy looking stuff in the pile there? Yeah, okay.
Exactly.
There's so much that you cannot see from the ground.
That's true.
And so, like Allie said, when you get to be about 20 years old, maybe have somebody come out like us, take a look at what you have. And in a lot of cases, you might need just a little bit of a tune-up to get you through those last 4 or 5 years without having water infiltrate your house.
Well, that's another thing. Look at your ceilings on the highest level of your house and see if you got any stains showing up somewhere. That could be an indication of a leak and coming down and through the ceiling.
Yeah, if you see staining, that's usually an indication that it's a roof leak, because it picks up the asphalt part of the shingle, and so the staining you see will be in like a brownish color type of situation. I go to a lot of homes, and I'll see cracking in plaster or drywall and no staining. That's probably not a leak.
Yeah, and some of that staining can also be from ice damming in the wintertime, and sometimes it doesn't rear itself until it dries out.
When it's close to like an
right,
outside
so people are
wall,
starting
a
to
lot
see
of
it in spring or summer, and it happened the previous winter. So that there doesn't necessarily mean that there's something, that your roof has exceeded its life expectancy. It could be a insulation ventilation issue, and that's another thing. Another reason to have a good reputable contractor out there, because those are things that our sales guys, when they come out and meet with you, they look in the attic, they check for all these things because it coincides with the longevity of a roof system. Like Allie's saying, you can look for shingles laying in the yard. That could be a sign of a roof that's in need of repair. Delamination of the shingles is part of that ventilation issue. You get too much heat up there, it starts breaking down the shingles. So everything kind of plays together.
Yeah, it's going to be 90, so we're a little bit away from snow and ice,
Right.
but the winter conditions around here often create that, and a big contributor to that is lack of insulation. So a roof isn't necessarily just the system on the roof, it's what's under the roof that also has
And
a
it plays
play.
into that flashing that we were talking about again. If you have your roof-to-wall flashing coming down, there's kick-out flashings that we put in that deflect the water into the gutter so it doesn't get behind the siding. A lot of times we find houses don't have that, and that slowly leads to water damage as well.
You definitely want your attic to be a healthy area. Your attic is transition area between what's going on the inside of the house and what's going on the outside. If it's not working in the summertime, it's not working in the wintertime. So, ice damming is a correlation between ventilation and insulation. But like Tim was saying, we want to inspect the attic. We want to make sure there's insulation chutes. We want to take a look at that there's proper soffit venting, because that's half of your ventilation system is your soffits. There's so many homes I look at where you can count the soffits, and they're the ones that are up on the wood, but they're clogged completely. I show people that constantly. And, so even though a contractor may walk around and say, well, there's enough soffit vents here, you got to make sure they're functioning. You got to make sure there's baffles in the attic, that they're actually have access to that, because otherwise you end up with half a system.
It's not inexpensive to get a new roof. How much ahead of time should you be looking at doing a project like that, Allie?
I would say any from a year all the way up to 5 years. It just depends on what your budget looks like. But I would say, if you contact a company and your roof is between like 18 and 20 years, I would say that's probably a good sweet spot to start planning. That will give you some planning in advance.
When you come out and do an estimate, how long is that estimate good?
So I believe it's good for 3 months, I think. Is that it?
Well, it kind of depends. What we do is we negotiate our buying power with the volume that we do to have it extend into a certain part of the year. And so our only increases for after the first of the year until now are going to hit us at the end of June. And then we're protected for the rest of the year. But we can price protect people into the following year. So if we're selling something in December, the relationship I have with my supplier, I can't get a 10% increase or something like that on $500,000 worth of volume we're going to be doing in spring that's already pre-sold. And then what happens is that they buy as much as they can buy. They give us our pricing after the first of the year, but they can only hold so much. So by the time we get to the end of June or July, they're pretty much empty. They have to rebuy, which is going to affect everybody, which gets down to the consumer. So you can be smart about it and talk with your contractor and see what his buying capabilities are to get you the best deal you can get. And sometimes there's some break points. But there's a lot of homes that we have sold that they want it done at the end of the year because they may have a pool or they might have shrubbery or their yard or they don't want the mess. Well, there's a lot of jobs that we've signed that we're going to do in August or September or October that they have already purchased, and now they're price protected getting into that season. So always think about that also.
And if you want to get more information about that, have somebody come out and take a look and give you an estimate. Allie, what do we do?
You can call our office at 262-437-0537 or visit our website, jnbconstruction.com.
Ooh, we didn't ask about hail and storm damage. We're going to do that. It's all coming up on the Fix It Show right here on WTMJ.
Hi, this is Jeff Levering with the Brewers Radio Network. Ridgetop Exteriors, Wisconsin's trusted name in home improvement, does more than just top-quality roofing. They're your go-to for maintenance-free siding and energy-efficient windows, too. Ridgetop has expert credentials with leading manufacturers like Pella, James Hardie, and LP Smart Siding. For over 20 years, they delivered exceptional craftsmanship and service. Call Ridgetop Exteriors today or visit ridgetopexteriors.com. Ridgetop Exteriors, where customer service always comes first.
Ridgetop Exteriors.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for QC Kinetics. The big focus in America today is on your health, right? So why aren't you feeling any better? Your knees always hurt, your shoulders keep you from exercising, and you're done with all the pills and the steroids, and you cringe at the thought of surgery. You've done everything, but the pain is always there. It's exhausting. This is when you got to call QC Kinetics. It's revolutionary treatment. It works to give your body long-term relief. Regenerative treatments takes your body's own healing power and helps and restore your damaged tissue. Call QC Kinetics today and get yourself a free sit-down. Talk to Dr. Justine Bennon. She's great. I've met with her. You can walk through the process with her. She explains it in a way that's understandable, and she can do the same for you. 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today and get your life back. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
For people with disabilities, an opportunity can make all the difference. Get help navigating the transition into adulthood, employment, housing, healthcare, and more with Thinkability Wisconsin, a resource hub that empowers people with disabilities.
So this job makes me feel very confident. My goal is always to grow myself and learn new things.
Live life to the fullest. It all starts when you say yes. Contact a Thinkability Navigator to get help at thinkabilitywi.org.
The 4th of July sale is on at Steinhafels. Save 10% store-wide. Get a Sealy mattress any size for just $199 and take an extra $100 off every $999 you spend. Shop now, in-store or online at steinhafels.com.
Hi, I'm Eric Brown, owner of Outdoor Living Unlimited. Outdoor Living Unlimited recently completed an amazing project. Imagine a backyard with a beautiful deck, automated pergola, and an outdoor kitchen with an amazing outdoor fireplace as its focal point, creating that $1 million feeling every time you relax. Looking for a company to make your backyard scream wow? Stop by our beautiful showroom in Waukesha or visit our website at outdoorlivingunlimited.com.
From those with no experience to firearms enthusiasts, all are welcome at Mission 94 Firearms Education Center. The staff is deeply committed to providing a welcoming and engaging environment for everyone at every level. Learn the right way to handle firearms, level up your skills, and experience replica firearms from different historical eras while learning about their role in protecting our freedoms throughout history. Visit veteran-owned and managed Mission 94 in Kenosha today. Check out the 5-star reviews. Just Google Mission 94.
It's the Fix-It Show, exclusively on 620 WTMJ.
We've got a lot of questions coming in, but before we get to anything else, we've got Scott and Allie Klein, also Tim Comerford here from J&B. I just, we were talking about this off the air, and I said, the first time we met you, Scott, and I'm talking about my husband and myself. Nobody is fussier than my husband. I mean, he is. God love him, and thank you for being that protective of us and our interests. But he questioned you, and a number of other contractors as well, before we had our initial roof put in. And he is so complete. How important is it for customers to be proactive and asking questions when they're looking at something like an investment like a roof?
Well, I think they need to get that comfort zone. And your husband, we've worked on 3 different homes for you, Libby.
Yeah.
Yes,
you have.
And a bunch of different things and so forth. And I think they need to get that comfort zone. And the warranties, our install warranties, our reputation, I think all that comes into play because I don't care who the consumer is. They're not up there watching every step and move. And one of the things that I'm very proud about J&B is we have project managers that are out looking at things and following through with things, the siding jobs and so forth. Every job that we do a 25-point inspection at the end. Because that's my reputation. That's my quality control, and all our employees know that that's going to happen. And everything's on company cam, a system that we use, so we can bring.
Explain that. What do you mean it's on company cam?
Well, if I take a picture, or any foreman takes a picture, or any salesman takes a picture, it's on everybody's phone with that system, so everybody can see it. We can highlight and write things on that picture of what we want done here, done there. When Allie does her production meetings every Monday, so every job that we're doing next week, we talked about last Monday. So we're, at least a week ahead with that. We go through all the details, and then Allie can go ahead and schedule sheet metal crews or flat roof crews, the roofing crews, the siding crews, and all the details. And we can put from the salesperson and the meeting with the salesperson and the important things to the consumer can all be highlighted on these pictures. And then Allie notes all that before we even start a project. So, the communication and our understanding and all that is extremely important, because that's what's important to the consumer.
Is that unique to you? I mean, do most construction companies use those sort of elements?
I don't know who does what. But I can tell you, I went out on a project that we did about 12 years ago, and they had a power vent, and they were concerned about the power vent. And I went up on the roof to look at the power vent, and it was a typical one-story garage, two-story house. And so to get up there, I was putting my ladder on the upper level, and when I walked up on the lower level, I looked at the roof, and I said, what the heck happened to this roof? It was destroyed. And I didn't notice it at first on why it was, but they had someone there doing siding. And they walked all over the roof, and they scuffed the crap out of it, and it was terrible. And it was by coincidence that they called me, to look at this power vent. And I could see they just had the siding done. I said to them, your siding contractor ruined this roof. And it was only about 10 years old. So I don't know what happened with it. They had to deal with the siding people, but there's a lot of things, and I said, when they do the walkthrough, you better bring this to their attention. And the guy told me the guy already did the walkthrough. So their walkthrough, and they stepped on some vents that were up there. I have pictures of everything, and so forth. But so there's stuff that happens. So I don't know that many do that. This was another supposedly reputable company that people may recognize their name, but it was just, what they did to an existing roof. But that's important too to people. What are you going to do with our shrubbery? What about our landscape? What about our new deck? What about this? What about that? And so forth. So things happen, but if you're not walking through and stuff, you're not seeing it.
And go ahead, Tim.
And to Scott's point with the shrubbery and the deck, we've already done several jobs where people had new decks put on. We're out there ahead of time before the crew gets out there to start the roof, and we are thoroughly covering that deck to protect it. It's not an easy task. We'll send out 3 guys. They're there for quite a while, depending on the size of the deck. We're doing everything we can to protect, within reason, your property. Shrubbery, we've built custom boxes. People had ornamental trees. We've built hand-framed and plywood boxes over trees just to protect them. So we do what we can within reason, obviously, but there's a lot more to it, again, than just doing the roofing.
And when somebody comes out and gives an estimate, they take everything like that into consideration, right, Allie?
Yeah, that is correct. Oh, yes, that is correct.
Yeah, and that's that conference room that Scott was talking about. We're in there all the time with the sales guys. They're going out there, taking the photographs. We're reviewing them, coming up with a game plan.
One more time, the phone number?
262-437-0537 or our website, jmbconstruction.com.
It's 8:52 on WTMJ.
The biggest gig in the world has finally returned. Summerfest is here, and WTMJ will be broadcasting live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio right on the lakefront.
Yes, he goes.
Come by, say hi, meet your favorite WTMJ hosts. It's WTMJ at Summerfest all fest long. We are Wisconsin's radio station, WTMJ.
Imagine waking up to the updated kitchen or bathroom of your dreams. J&J Contractors is your preferred partner in all your home renovation needs. They can transform your kitchen with beautiful new floors, custom cabinetry, and more. Dreaming of a spa-like oasis with custom tile work and fixtures? J&J Contractors will design a bathroom that leaves you feeling relaxed and rejuvenated. For your free consultation, just search online, J&J Contractors, or call 414-423-9200. J&J Contractors. Welcome home.
There's an amazing supper club in Wisconsin Dells, Ish Nala, nestled among the pines and perched above the sandstone bluffs of Mirror Lake. The beauty, the history, the service, the food, the fun. Hi, this is Bob Prosser, owner of Ish Nala Supper Club in Wisconsin Dells. I've been a part of Ish Nala since 1973, and I am so proud to continue the tradition that began in 1953. Why not enjoy a brandy old-fashioned in one of our bars, each with a spectacular view overlooking Mirror Lake, or just relax before or after dinner on one of our outdoor decks. Our Ish Nala chefs have prepared your favorites: 24-ounce ribeye, cold water lobster tails, North Atlantic salmon, and of course, Ish Nala's roast duck. Thank you for making Ish Nala Wisconsin's favorite supper club, where the only thing we overlook is Mirror Lake. I'm Bob Prosser, and I want to serve you.
I'm WTMJ's Sandy Max. What makes senior living at Three Pillars so special? Let's hear from my friend Marilyn.
I've been volunteering for over 30 years, so I got to know the community and loved it. We have a theater, community room, and we have bocce outside. They have gardens all over the campus that the residents tend to. Quilting groups, sewing groups, knitting groups, just lots and lots of amenities. Never a boring day.
Schedule a tour today at threepillars.org.
State Fair is right around the corner, and it's time to savor the savings. These $15 tickets will only be available through June 29th. Save today so you'll be feeling good at the Wisconsin State Fair, presented by U.S. Cellular, July 31st through August 10th.
Your home can be more maintenance-free when you rely on J&B.
This is Tom Feza. When I need information about siding, I call Scott Klein, owner of J&B Construction, provider of high-quality exterior home improvement products and services since 1958.
I'm Scott Klein. If you're tired of painting or your siding is beyond repair, it may be time to look at the advantages of a new siding system. Additional insulation, along with Tyvek's weatherization system, can significantly improve your home's energy efficiency while protecting it from water and air infiltration. We offer a variety of siding products, all installed by J&B's certified employees, which will provide decades of performance and beauty.
For a complimentary siding evaluation, call Scott at 262-437-0537 or visit jnbconstruction.com.
Your home can be more maintenance-free when you rely on J&B.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Making sure your honey-do list doesn't turn into a honey, what did you do list? It's the Fix-It Show on 620 WTMJ.
And that's the fray. They're playing on the Uline stage. And by the way, third caller, you're going to get 4 tickets to Summerfest. Give us a call on the Siding Unlimited talk and text line 855-616-1620. Caller number 3. We've got Allie and Scott Klein here, along with Tim Comerford, J&B Construction. We've talked about so much today. We touched on if you've got storm or hail damage coming out, and you'll take a look at that, right?
Yes, so we'll definitely take a look at it. I have 3 really quick points to go through really quick. You can contact your insurance first. That's probably the best way to go. But note, if your insurance comes and they say there's not hail damage, it still could be important to get an actual roofing contractor out there to take a look. Please stay away from any of those storm-chasing companies that are knocking on your door. They will not be able to offer you the good warranties on the product and good install warranties. So definitely contact a reputable local roofing company.
Like J&B, that's been around since 1958. Mm-hmm. All right, if we want to get a hold of you, Allie, what do we do?
262 262-437-0537 is our office number, or you could visit our website, jandbconstruction.com.
Give us that phone number one more time.
262-437-0537.
Allie, Scott Klein, always great to have you. Tim Comerford, thanks for joining us today, too. J&B Construction. And Jim Riedel, always good to have you here.
Thanks for having me.
And David and Dayton will be back next week. I'm Libby Collins. We'll be back after the news. It is the Fox World Travel Show on WTMJ. And the Fix It Show is sponsored by Siding Unlimited and J&B Construction.
Good.
This has been The Fix-It Show on WTMJ, presented by J&B Construction and Siding Unlimited. Advice and opinions expressed during the program are solely that of the hosts or guests, and not WTMJ Radio or Good Karma Brands Milwaukee, LLC.
Welcome back to Ask Hasselus. I'm Weston. What's your question?
How do you get pee out of an old mattress?
Well,
I'm asking for a friend.
The best way to remove urine from a mattress is to trade in that old mattress for a new Beautyrest or Sealy Posturepedic.
But that'll cost a lot of money.
Not at Hasselus Mattress. Through Monday, trade in your old mattress and get additional savings of $248 off a queen and $348 off a king. And that's on top of our everyday low prices.
Come on, everybody says lowest prices.
Others sell a Sealy Posturepedic Queen Emeryville A mattress for $1,268. Hasselus sells it for $1,034. But through Monday, it's just $786. And check out the low prices on Beautyrest and more. Plus, free next day delivery.
What does my friend do with his old soaked mattress?
We haul it away for pee.
What was that?
Sorry, I meant for free.